Hello captains and welcome to the Priority 1 Armada live stream, multicasting live via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and Twitch on the 7th of November 2020. I'm your host Winters and tonight we are earning some Latinum at the Dobbo table on sunny Ryza, instance number 1, while we hold our roundtable discussion. Joining me tonight are my two co-hosts, Selic and Zianto. Z, how's it going, dude? How's the last 7 days been for you?
Last 7 days, completely uneventful.
No news is good news.
Nothing of any note or significance happened at all. So yeah, just business as usual for me and I think the rest of the country.
Good stuff.
How about you?
I've been very busy. Been very busy working on community stuff. Some things that we are going to be doing next year, but we're already working on them now. We were actually talking about them a little while ago. So yeah, I've actually had a pretty busy week. Selic, how about you? How's the last 7 days been for you, dude?
Mildly stressful, but getting through it.
That's wonderful. I'm delighted. I'm so happy to hear it. Tonight is a special night as we have joining us from the Stonewall Fleet, Nick, the leader of the Stonewall Fleet, and the head of public relations, Dave, is also joining us. Welcome to the show, guys. We are so happy to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having us here. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, we're going to have a bit of a chit-chat later on, so don't go anywhere. Really excited, like I said, to have you guys on. But let's find out what we're going to be doing for the rest of the show. So, Z, tell us what we do have planned, please.
Alright, so during the roundtable tonight on this week's show, we'll discuss the latest in Star Trek Online news. So if you've not made your way over to Ryza, instance number 1, come join us. We will also share the latest in Priority 1 Armada news and highlight some of our outstanding members within the community. After the roundtable, we'll warp to the Gamma Quadrant for our weekly away mission to save the founders from those pesky Herc, and most importantly, earn some dilithium. Your character needs to be level 65 to join us on this, so hope to see you all there.
Okay, so before we go any further, we're going to kick off our first giveaway of the night. So captains, for your chance to win a Groupies Pop Culture Hero Coalition mini pack, we want you to type in the word Stone into the chat now. It doesn't matter if you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook or YouTube. Type in the word Stone into the chat now and that will enter you in with a chance of winning a Groupies Pop Culture Hero Coalition mini pack. Good luck, everyone.
Why were you giggling at the word stone? What? I don't...
Because I know what the rest of the words are.
Oh, I think... Alright.
If you're not a member of the Priority 1 Armada and want to stay in touch with us in-game, then come join us on Priority 1 chat channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority 1, all one word, and then hit the enter key.
If you want to be a member of our Priority 1 Armada community, simply head over to PriorityOneArmada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets. You can start your career with Priority 1 Armada today. So go sign up.
And if you're interested in picking up some cool Priority 1 Armada swag, then check out our Armada-themed merchandise, available now at our Cafe Press store. The store has items ranging from mugs to mousepads, t-shirts to hoodies, and loads more. Links to the store can be found on our website and Twitch page.
Want to say welcome to everyone who's chatting to us on the various different platforms as well. I see loads of you there. I see Falsefire, I see Jim128 Star Trek Online, I see Hyper Hydra, I see Kajax, I see Kyreo, I see Baron Manzolo, Nightweb, Gaming Nightlife, Unimatrix 8, Farnsworth, Bread Truck, Darkness, Muta, Trekkie Stowe, so many people. Sorry if I haven't called your name out, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and welcome to Slodora the Explorer. Hopefully I'm not butchering that too bad. And Terran the Soldier 238, who has just followed our Twitch channel within the last 30 minutes. So welcome, guys. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the show. Well,
also, who's this guy Restream Bot? He's new, right?
Yeah.
I'll get rid of him.
We have a lot to talk about this week in Star Trek Online news, so let's jump right into the roundtable. Selic, tell us about Star Trek Online at the Vendors Hall convention, please.
Star Trek Online is joining the programming of the Vendors Hall Convention on November 7th. Stowe will be putting on a panel with two of our favorite scientists, Erin MacDonald, the science advisor for Star Trek in general, and STLV mainstay, the bad astronomer Phil Plait. Joining them will be senior content designer Jesse Heinig to discuss science and Star Trek Online. Specifically, they'll be diving into the fun and challenge of creating a black hole in Stowe for their mission Gravity Kills.
Right, so this actually took place earlier today. Nick, did you see this blog during the week? Did you tune into it by any chance?
I saw it. I don't think I tuned into it.
Right, okay. I'm the same as well. To be honest with you, I was actually in bed. I was sound asleep when this was on. Dave, how about yourself? Did you get to see this blog during the week?
No, unfortunately, I missed it. And I try and keep on top of all the Star Trek Online happenings, but this one just caught me at the wrong time, and I wasn't able to tune in.
Right, gotcha. Are any of you guys familiar with the people that were on this panel? Like, for me now, I know what they call the bad astronomer, Phil. Like, I've seen him in so many documentaries. I'm curious if any of you guys know any of the scientists that they had on there.
I think Erin MacDonald was in one of the Star Trek Day streams, but I'm not certain.
All right, okay. And did you see this, Selig?
I did not. I was also asleep.
You were also asleep. I knew you were going to be asleep. How about you, Z? You were working, I bet.
Yeah, no, I was at work all day, so I didn't get a chance to catch up on any of the Star Trek news, but I'm going to have to go back and give it a watch, because, you know, it seems interesting enough.
Yeah, well, that Phil Plait is really good. I actually really like him. He's one of those people you could listen to all day long. At least I find him that way. I love listening to him in documentaries, you know, about obviously astronomy and what have you. And he's just a really easy person to listen to, and he always has such interesting stuff to talk about. So yeah, I probably will go back and track it out once I get the chance. I suppose that's the trick, though.
Now, does he like primarily do Star Trek, like sci-fi, you know, theoretical science stuff, or does he do more like actual, like is it mostly Star Trek and sci-fi, or does he do like actual physics and stuff?
No, he does. He's an actual astronomer, like that. You know, occasionally gets called upon by the Discovery Channel, like to, you know, talk about whatever, you know, the formation of the solar system, or black hole, or quasars, or whatever. You know, like he'll be one of the regular faces that you will see that will pop up if you ever watch any of that stuff from the Discovery Channel, and I just love it. I'd go to bed like with the Discovery Channel on, and you know, the formation of the universe, and all these guys will be on it, and yeah, he's just one that the name stands out because like, oh, I know that guy.
Oh, I only really watch Discovery Channel these days during Shark Week. It's the only time I tune in.
What's an
unusual?
Shark...
You don't like Shark Week?
Shark Week, you say?
Shark Week's awesome.
Right. I think we need... No, we don't need to chat after the end of the show. So tonight is Z's last show.
I'd like to say it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to item number 2. Z, why don't you tell us about the Prometheus Ship of the Line bundle, please?
Okay, well, it's time for another Ships of the Line bundle. There are lots of ships in the galaxy that have multiple tiers available, and STO wants to make it easier for you to get your hands on every version of your favorite ships. This time, the Prometheus class, an advanced Starfleet ship designed for deep space tactical assignments. The Prometheus is known for its incredible multi-vector assault mode. Ships of the Line Prometheus bundle will cost 5,000 Zen and will be at a 35% discount from November 5th, 8 a.m. Pacific time to November 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. It contains the following: the T6 Hestia truck. It's a truck. T5 multi-vector advanced escort and 1 fleet module. In addition to the release of the Ships of the Line Prometheus class bundle, STO has also remastered the Prometheus class starship visuals. The Prometheus class model has been completely remodeled and even higher fidelity and accuracy. This includes an update to the Prometheus material. STO has also given Prometheus variants access to the following ship materials: Galaxy, Intrepid, Defiant, Sovereign, Type 0, Type 8, Type 8B, NX, and NX Refit.
So I think this is a pretty cool little bundle. Dave, we'll start off with you. Did you already own these ships by any chance, or did you not have them? And if so, I'm curious, what did you think of the bundle?
Well, the Prometheus is a ship that's really near and dear to my heart. It was the first ship that I flew in stow, and so I'm pretty excited about it. And I mean, when we were all watching Voyager and Deep Space Nine, it was in the height of the Dominion War, and even when we had the impressive ship shots of Deep Space Nine and all the battles and whatnot, there were really no new ships on screen, right? I mean, we had your Excelsiors, your Mirandas, a couple of Galaxy classes, but when Voyager came out with this ship, it was the first new Federation Starfleet ship that we had seen in a long time, and then of course the multi-vector assault mode was the icing on the cake. So super excited for it. I can't wait to fly it. It was my first ship, as I say, and I've strayed away from it and went to the Nebula class, but I can't wait to go back to it, and in this this offering is going to be something that brings me back to it for sure. I'd say 5,000 is a little bit steep, but with the sale, 35% off, plus everything they're throwing into the bundle, I'd say it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, agreed. Nick, how about yourself? Did you already own these ships, or if not, did you pick up the bundle?
I probably have the T5 version, but I don't think I've ever really flown it that much. I am a huge fan of the Sovereign, so I've basically flown every version of the Sovereign. So if they come out with the Sovereign of the Line bundle, Ship of the Line bundle, I'll definitely get that. Right.
Selleck, how about yourself? What's your thoughts on this bundle, or do you already have the ships?
I don't have any of the ships, so I've been very tempted by this bundle. It does look like a good deal, and if I wasn't saving up for the big legendary bundle, I would have picked this up.
Right, gotcha. How about you, Z? What's your thoughts on this bundle? Do you already have the ships, or are you thinking about picking it up?
So it's interesting that was it Dave that said that it was his first?
Yeah.
The first, yeah. So it's interesting you say that, because it was actually the first Zen Store ship I purchased as well, like way back. So I have a T5 variant, but honestly, I was never really too happy with it. I don't see myself. I'm not much of a science escort player anymore. I remember this ship being very hacks back in the day for PvP, but now it's not really. It's kind of. I haven't revisited it since then, and my playstyle has changed so much that I don't know if it's something I would be really interested in. But it seems like an interesting bundle. I'm gonna have to read some more into it, what you actually get from the Hesna and the other, the consoles and the traits and all that, because I think that's a huge determining factor on whether or not I pick up a bundle or a ship.
Right, yeah, very valid. My own personal opinion is I like the Hestia or the multi-vector advanced escort. It was not the first ship that I purchased in game, the T5, but it was one of the first, because Dave, unlike you, I remember that episode of Voyager, Message in a Bottle, and when the Romulan ships turned up and this thing split apart into 3 other vessels, it was jaw dropping, and it was like, it was like, I want that so bad. But I think with the 35% off, it really is very, very tempting. Now, I already have the T5, and I kind of have the T6, and I know that doesn't really make much sense, but I'll explain how. I got a promotional offer for something like spending $200 on the game, and they were like, here's the Hestia, and it's in the promotions tab of the Z store for me, but I've never claimed it, so technically I really have everything out of this bundle. But I know one of the other hosts that's on this show, James, he was thinking about picking it up earlier on during the week, and he had the T5. And with the 35% off, it was like 3,250. And I was like, look, at the T6 ship is going to cost you 3,000, and it's going to cost you another 500 for a fleet ship module. So it's actually better if you just buy the bundle, and you get your T6 ship and the fleet ship module for 250 less. So if you don't have either of the ships, then it's a really, really good offer. But even if you have the T5, it's still a good offer.
Quick shout out to 1800 Broken Soul coming in with a raiding party.
Oh, wow.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yes, I see that. Welcome, 1800 Broken Soul. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Ray Bosch Borg, who has cheered for 100 bits. I see that as well. And also, if I can scroll up here. Yep, scroll does not want to play ball with me. Right, here comes the butcher of names. Sagan Mauve, welcome. Saint Plasma, sorry, welcome. Trekkie Stoll, welcome as well. All of whom have followed our channel within the last 15 or 20 minutes. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the show.
I have a question, and maybe
yeah.
somebody, if you guys don't know it offhand, somebody in chat could let me know. What episode was that of Deep Space Nine that showed the ship where it splits apart? Because I don't remember that. I'm a pretty big DS9 fan, but it's been a while since I sat down and rewatched it.
It was a Voyager episode.
Oh, it was a Voyager. Okay.
Message in a Bottle was the Voyager episode when the Doctor was transmitted back to the Alpha Quadrant. And
didn't they do that for a while? Is that the one with Andy Dick?
Yes.
Is that episode?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The
That's
EMH
fine.
Mark II. Beep, beep, beep,
Not
beep, beep, beep.
a big fan of that episode.
I love it. I think it's
I
hilarious.
don't hate. I'm not like, oh, this is the worst of the thing, but I was still like, this is kind of goofy. It's got Andy Dick in it, so you can't really take it too seriously.
Oh man, yeah, I love that episode. I think it's so funny. I always chuckle whenever I see it. But anyway, let's move on and announce the winner of our first giveaway. This was for Groupie's Pop Culture Hero Coalition mini pack. It has a tribble, a caracal, a title, and I'm not sure what else. But the winner is Twitch viewer Darkness Muta. Congratulations! You have won a Groupie's Pop Culture Hero Coalition mini pack. So if you can contact us, send a whisper to our Twitch channel and let us know what your email address is, we will get that prize sent to you at the end of the show. So congrats again, well done.
Yeah, congrats.
Hey,
Congratulations.
good work.
Congratulations.
That's a good pack too. I like that pack.
Yep. Okay. Let's move on to item number 3. Selik, tell us about It's Very Cold in Space, please.
So, Best Served Cold is the operation to prevent a car from enacting a prison break on Rurapenthe with his treacherous computer virus. It adds to a long litany of sins and the building Klingon reprisal against him, provided we prevent him from gaining the glory of victory. We must act quickly to prevent his success. If he retains power, the future of the Klingon Empire is fallen to dishonor and disarray. Best Served Cold is a featured task force operation in Star Trek Online. 5 Alliance captains will work together to accomplish battle objectives and ultimately force a car from the region. You must act swiftly to arrive in time to prevent him from achieving his goals. You must be strong to defeat him in open battle. You must be cunning to avoid falling into the trap he has laid as his computer virus works its way through the system's defenses. And above all, you must fight with honor so that you deserve your victory. This event will last for 3 weeks starting on November 12th for all players, and all players level 10 and above will be able to participate. Complete the TFO on 14 different days to earn the event's grand prize while earning marks and dilithium. For PC players, the grand prize is the Nanopulse Targ Combat Pet. For Xbox One and PlayStation 4 players, the grand prize is Molor's Flaming Sword. The first completion of this mission on an account each week will grant a featured episode weekly reward box. This box gives your choice of an enhanced universal tech upgrade or a captain specialization point box which gives the character who opens it a specialization point. The Nanopulse Targ combat pet is an item that calls a devastating Nanopulse Targ to aid you in ground combat, attacking enemies with its physical might and energy blades. Tame the fiendish denizens of the Klingon afterlife by obtaining your very own Targ of Graythor combat pet. This reward for the event isn't alone, however. It has a cousin that will be available in the C-Store. Beginning on November 12th, 2020, captains on PC will have the opportunity to purchase this hot new combat pet from the Zen Store for the price of 800 Zen. And if you act quickly, you can purchase this 50% off for a total price of 400 Zen during its special introductory period from the 12th of November to the 3rd of December 2020. The Targ of Graythor has been designed to synergize with the recently introduced Nanopulse War Targ combat pet, available as the event reward from the Best Served Cold TFO event. If you have both of these combat pet devices equipped and activate either, you will receive a short duration version of the other pet simultaneously. This bonus works in either direction as long as both devices are equipped. Molor's Flaming Sword is Molor's signature weapon, carving enemies to bits and burning them to pieces, as well as enabling the player to use his chain pull attack, dragging enemies into the fray. Kapla, captains.
Absolutely fantastic. Very well presented there, Selig.
Thank you.
Nick, we'll start off with you. I'm curious, what do you think about this event? Is it something that you're going to be getting involved in? Do you like the rewards for it? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I do every, challenge like featured TFO, so I'll do it.
Right.
I think the Nanopulse Targ, that's an interesting prize. Although I'm a PC player, I kind of wish I'd like to get the sword instead. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's a set bonus on combat pets. I've never seen that in Stowe before. Is that new, or is it something I've missed?
Oh yeah, no, that's new. That's I've never seen it either. I can't recall any ground device or combat pet that has a passive attached to it.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep, definitely.
Well, it's certainly intriguing because this kind of opens some doors as to what they can do with set bonuses and the way sets are designed. So I'm pretty hopeful for that.
Definitely, maybe add something new to ground combat, spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
But it's already so exciting.
Dave, how about you? What's your thoughts on this event and the reward?
Well, my participation in these events has been hit and miss in the past, but then it turns out that sometime in the future, down the line, I end up with a ship build or a ground build that I really want, and I'm missing that one reward that I should have really gotten from playing the event. So now I'm kind of more of a completionist mindset, and I'll definitely be doing it simply for that target.
Right. Gotcha. Selig, how about yourself? What's your thoughts on this? Do you like it? Do you hit it? Are you going to be taking part?
Much like as people have already said, I'll certainly be participating in the event. I'm not super excited about the reward, but I think it'll be cool. I'm particularly interested in the fact that they are swapping the rewards for PC and console, so that for once, console will get something first.
Yeah. That is very interesting, all right. Because am I right in saying that they're going to alternate it then next year?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I can't recall if it was said in there, but I saw somewhere officially they've stated that the next time they run this TFO, the events will be swapped, so both console and PC will get both of them. It's just that they're doing it opposite.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Z, I take it you're going to play this event and pick up the reward, yeah?
Excuse me. Yes. No, sorry.
We're boring him, everyone.
No, I had to work today. Yes, I will be playing the event. Also, you're boring. I will be playing the event, and I don't know, like the combat pet seems really interesting. I'm glad that they're adding that mechanic to it. I don't know about the event itself because I'm one of those guys that really wants the reward, really wants to play through it. I get about a week in, and then I start banging my head against the wall. Like, I am so tired of the... That's what happened with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The Synthwave.
Synthwave,
Like,
yeah.
after the first week, I was like, I hate having to play this. Like, I went and played the episode mission a few times, and I don't know, I think they need to tweak the amount of time that we're playing events, because it gets really, like, by the time you're done with it, you're just, I don't want to do this anymore. So I might play this for a little while and then just buy it out. And not have to, depending how much fun it is. You know, if it's really fun, I might stick it out, but we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, and I know this from having talked to the devs in various interviews, this is not likely going to change for the foreseeable future, because they are seeing great numbers in terms of participation when it comes to these events, because so many players are saying, oh my god, right, I have to play it because I have to get the account unlock. And Dave, I think was it you that was saying that you've missed, or it's been hit and miss for you in the past? Was that right?
Yeah, absolutely has. And then it turns out sometime down the road that console that was the reward for that would really have worked in well with my build. And so then you find yourself trying to scramble and get it from, you know, like an infinity box or something like that, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. So I don't think this is going to change, because, like I said, a lot of players, you're probably not alone, Dave, actually. There's probably other players in the very same situation as yourself that was like, you know, the events are hit and miss, and then later on saying, oh, I wish I had gone for it. And now are in that completionist mode. But like I said, they have stated that they're seeing, you know, really great participation in these events, and it's probably because of that completionist attitude that players have. Oh, I better get it because I might need it at some point, and it's an account unlock. But Z, at the same time, I know what you're saying. Like, some of them are just not that great, you know. Let's be honest here.
Like I said, it's fun for like a week, and then you're just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, it was fun for a week, but now, and I know what they're doing. I'm onto them. They're trying to get me to buy it out. That's their trick, and it's freaking working.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So Dave, I got a question. What's the one that got away? What's the event where you're like, oh man, I wish I had just played that one, so I don't have to go through this? I think I know what your answer is going to be, but.
Well, for me, it was the domino console. And
I knew it. I knew you were going to say domino.
Right?
I knew it.
And had I paid just a little bit closer attention to what the console actually was in the reward, right, I would have been in it all in, right? And unfortunately, I let it slip by, and now I'm kind of in a situation where I need it for my build. Well, don't need it, but it would be ideal, obviously.
Yeah.
No, that's sort of a one of those staple consoles where if you have it, you're gonna, especially on a phaser build, just that firing cycle haste buff that you receive, and then the plus 15 to phaser damage is also nice. But even if you're not doing a phaser build, that's a really good console to have. So. You know, maybe they should do a replay for that ship at some point. I don't know.
That's an interesting idea, actually, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would like to see a replay of just that particular one because the console is so good.
Yeah, also, I like the Interceptor. It's a pretty good ship. It's a fun ship.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
Wouldn't it be in the Free Phoenix prize box now?
It is.
It is, but it's not an account unlock.
Yeah.
So if you want it, you're like, I gotta get like 5.
Yeah, those Phoenix prize box, those are money makers for me, because they cost so much to lithium. I highly doubt they'd ever take it out of that.
Probably not, no. And you see, now you've gone into, you know, do the players actually want it to come out as well? Because the dilithium exchange would, like, if the Phoenix prize pack wasn't there, the dilithium exchange will be up at 500 again, and it has been slowly creeping back up, and the Phoenix prize pack is the only thing that's keeping it down, really, because people are spending their dilithium in the Phoenix prize pack to try and get epic tokens so that they can get the domino console.
Sure, that's the thing that's keeping it down, right, Winters? Right?
Well, it's
I'm sure nobody's manipulating that market in any way.
What are you suggesting, Z?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm saying that there's no way someone could manipulate that market.
Very true. That's true.
Yes.
And on another note, since the cold winter's boring, can we wish a fond farewell to thee? And Nick, Dave, we have an opening. And if one of you two would like to join.
Yep, exactly.
Sign me up.
Okay, let's move on to item number 4. And Z, why don't you tell us about bonus marks for the last time?
Sure, I'll tell you while I'm still here. This week, starting Thursday, November 5th. So that was
Thursday?
yesterday.
No, today's Saturday.
Yeah. To Thursday, November 12th. STO is running a special event where captains can earn bonus marks from playing content throughout the game. During the event, content provides marks, fleet or reputation, will reward a 50% or 1.5 times the bonus above normal amounts. This bonus is available for all content reward marks. Start building your fleet projects and reputations. This is one of those things that every time I read it, I'm like, it's saying it sounds really confusing, but then when you actually look at it, you're like, oh, no, it makes sense. 50% bonus marks.
Yep. So, Dave, we'll start off with you this time. Are you taking advantage of the bonus marks week? Have you got any characters that, still have to do reputations or anything like that? Or are you finished across the board in all your characters?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I think Stowe as a game it tries to get you to build all characters, right? And it walks some of the content behind, creating a Romulan character, for example, or a KDF character, or a Jem'Hadar character.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we all have a million alts that we probably need more marks on. I mean, this particular event, it draws me in a little bit. I'll probably run a few more TFOs than I normally would. The one event that usually draws me in is the bonus dilithium, though, because everybody could use that. But yeah, no, for sure. This'll bring me back to the game. I'll be running a few more random TFOs than I normally would during the week.
Cool. Nick, how about yourself? Are you still working on any characters?
Nope, all of mine are tier 6 and have thousands of marks backed up. So I'm set. So I probably won't be taking very much advantage of this.
Alright, okay. Z, how about yourself? Have you got any characters to work on, or are you going to take advantage of the bonus marks week?
I have several characters that I'm working on. I have one that I actually have 2 left that I have to get marks for, but the thing that really holds me back these days is completing my specializations. It is just so daunting getting through specializations. So the EXP booster weekends are the ones I really start grinding on.
Yep.
Marks, I have I have the Gamma and the Temporal and all the recruits. So typically that's where I just get my marks from, and I'm good to go.
Gotcha. Salik, how about yourself? Any characters you're working on, taking advantage of the bonus marks week, or giving it a pass?
Nearly all of my characters are hemorrhaging marks at the moment, so this is going to be very useful for me.
Right, okay. Wow. I'm pretty much set. All my characters are done with all the reputations, but I do have characters that need so many fleet credits, so I think Nikki and myself, we're probably going to do some TFOs before this finishes next Thursday, and I'm probably going to be grinding out fleet marks just to try and build up my fleet credits on various characters, because there's some of them that are desperate need of some fleet credits, like I was saying. So yeah, probably going to try and take a little bit of advantage of it while it's here. But
yes, everyone should take a page out of Winter's books. I need everyone to grind fleet marks and help get those fleets built. Those bases don't build themselves, man. I need you guys to do my job for me, please.
Right. What do you think? Should we get our next giveaway going, guys? I think we should do that.
It's about time, yeah.
Okay, so for our next giveaway, this time it's for Groupie's Breast Cancer Awareness Mega Pack. This thing comes with 2 ships, a pet, a tribble, title, and I'm not sure what else, but it's a really, really good pack. And what we would like you guys to do is to type in the word wall into the chat now. type in the word wall into the chat, whether you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, and that will enter you in with a chance of winning a Groupies Breast Cancer Awareness Mega Pack. So best of luck, everyone. Right, while everyone's doing that, let's move on to item number 5. Selic, tell us about the lifetime subscription sale, please.
Hailing all captains, Stowe are pleased to announce a sale on the lifetime subscriptions from November 5th to December 10th, bringing the price down by $100 to $199.99. Now is the perfect time to pick up a lifetime subscription to Stowe. Enjoy all rewards that come along with being a lifetime subscriber, with exclusive species unlocks like playable Talaxian species, instant access to all lifetime rewards, to priority login. There are dozens of reasons to become a lifetime subscriber today. You will even get 500 Zen a month to spend on all new gear and ships that come out in Star Trek Online.
Okay, Selic, I'm going to start off with you. Are you a lifetime subscriber? I can't remember if you've already purchased a lifetime or not.
Not on your Nelly, no.
No? Still have...
I don't have the money for that, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. So you're obviously giving this one a pass, but if you could, like, would you take the plunge? I suppose would be my question.
I have been considering that off and on for quite a while.
Oh, nice.
Probably I'd take the plunge, but I'm concerned about, does the game really have enough life left in it for like such an investment?
Oh, right, okay.
I think it does. I think that if you bought now, you'd still get at least 10 years out of it if you were a consistent player.
Yeah. I would agree with you, Z. I think that, they're still getting actors to do voiceover. This is turning out to be probably the golden age of Trek. There's...
Let's not go that far.
Well, right, okay. There's a lot of Trek shows on the air.
There's a resurgence of Trek, I'd say. Yeah.
And I don't think Stowe is going anywhere anytime soon. But anyway, Z, you're a lifetime subscriber, right?
I am, yes.
You
yes.
are? Alright, okay.
So I've been playing since free-to-play. I think that was Season 5.
Right.
I only went lifetime about 2 years ago. So I held off on it for a long time, but they eventually got my money. So thank you, Cryptic.
And, well, I suppose my question then to you is, are you happy with your purchase when you did take the plunge?
I am, and I'm not. Like, I think that for what I paid for it, and the fact that it's lifetime, like I feel like there should have been more. But one of the problems with the game is they keep doing updates. So like the T6 ships and stuff that we get for lifetime, and don't get me wrong, the stipend is nice, but it could be a little higher. The ships are okay, but they the way that because that's their big money maker, their microtransactions for the ships, they're kind of out of date already.
Right.
So I feel like there should be a little more that they do for lifetimers, but overall I'm happy with my purchase. I recommend that if you're a consistent player and you've been a consistent player, you should probably pick it up when it's on sale.
Yeah, probably some good advice there. Dave, how about yourself? Have you purchased lifetime? If so, would you say you're happy with your purchase?
I mean, I purchased a lifetime sub a long time ago, back when I was paying a monthly sub, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, for me, it's definitely been worth it because I can't even remember what it felt like to lose that money. It's been so long ago, so...
Right.
I mean, ignorance is bliss. But I just keep getting Zen in my inbox every month, right? So, for me, it's been a long enough journey, right, that it's paid out.
Right.
I'd be reluctant now, I think, in the game's life cycle to double down and pay, a couple $100 for a lifetime sub at this point in the game. I still think there's a lot of life in it for sure, but I think at some point, the engine itself is going to need a bit of a rework, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like.
Yeah, that's actually very true. It's a good point. Yeah, we completely agree there with that. Nick, how about yourself? Have you purchased lifetime at some point in the past?
I've been a lifetime member basically after open beta.
Oh wow!
I was really lucky after open beta and the fleet did a little fundraising drive and gifted me a lifetime subscription right up.
Wow,
Right
that's awesome.
the game launched. Yeah, it was really, really sweet with them.
Yeah.
So it's really worked out well for me. Whenever we have a new member who's really interested in the game and been playing it for a while, I always encourage them to take advantage of these kind of sales, because I think there's definitely still value there.
Yeah, completely agree. That's awesome. Wow, that's an awesome story.
Don't get any ideas. Winston.
Yeah.
Going back
it's
as far to the to the beginnings, when as far back as when I bought the Lifetime and when Nick got his, the one thing I will say that I wish they would update is the captain's table, because it used to be really unique zone, and now unfortunately, I mean, why would we go there?
I know, right? Yeah, God, we've brought that up so many times in interviews. It's like captain's table. It's like, yeah, we don't know what to do with it. In fact,
it's
make it
definitely been a long road getting from there to here.
Oh no.
It's time for a captain's table revamp.
I missed him.
At least make it a transwarp, so we can just go straight there instead of having to go into Soul first.
Right.
That would make it a little bit
I like
more
that
easier.
idea.
That
Yes.
is a good idea, actually. I'll keep that one on the back of my mind for the next time we do an interview. Just make it a transwarp for Lifetime, obviously, because it's only Lifetime that can get there, and that way you don't have to go from sector space to Sol system to captain's table system space, then to the captain's table. Just straight transwarp would be awesome.
With no cooldown too would be just icing on the cake.
That would be- yes, that would definitely be something. Well, I think they're thinking, or I'm pretty sure their thinking behind that was, and I know originally they wanted to be very careful with the way they set up social maps, especially when they came out with the star bases, because they didn't want to divide the players. They wanted to make sure that people were seeing other players in games, and they were afraid that if they allowed that, too many things in the star bases, that people would just be spending all of their time there.
Yep.
And so they might, I don't know, they might be against that. Hey, I'm for it. We'll see what the devs have to say about it.
Well, I know from talking to Al Rivera in the past, and he's like, we're probably going, or they are probably going to get rid of it. But like that was probably 3-4 years ago. And they still haven't gotten rid of it. Well,
they have to replace it with something else, because then they're just taking something away from the Lifetimers, and that's gonna.
And that's never happened before.
That'd be a real shame, because it is a really pretty map. I mean, it's definitely dated, from early Stowe, but there are some really pretty areas in it. So I'd like to see it stay, maybe refreshed.
Yeah,
but it would be a shame. I miss the old Memory Alpha map too. That was always a beautiful map.
When we have to go there to do crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the map, but not the crafting.
Yeah. No, that system was just, and you had to go grind those deep space encounters to get the particle traces. And
stop.
Good times.
God, takes me back. I do get fairly consistent comments on my YouTube channel from people, they're saying, "Oh my God, this guide on R&D, just said, oh, this is great. Last time I played Memory Alpha was a thing." I was like, whoa, that takes me back. It was such a terrible system. It was
that
really
map,
bad.
We used to play hide and seek in that map all the time. It was good for that.
So bad. R&D.
I feel like I have an alt that still has the particles and particle traces.
Oh, wow.
I still kept one on my main just for like, hey,
nostalgia.
look how long I've been playing. I got a couple of. I also have the Undine device from that one mission. Oh, what was it? Terrordome. I still have the Undine.
Oh, Terrordome.
Device. Yeah.
Wow.
Remember that one? Yeah.
I miss those old big fleet actions. Those were so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't miss the old crystalline entity. That was just thank God they revamped it. It was a nightmare.
Okay, let's move on to item number 6, Xbox and PS4 news. See, why don't you tell us what's going on there, please?
Sure. I was gonna do a voice for this, but after reading it, I was like, I don't even know if I can get through this normally. Ever since the original series first introduced the Mirror Universe in the episode Mirror Mirror, this captured the imagination of fans, appearing in several different series and Star Trek Online in various episodes and events. As a universe with humans who never grew out of bigotry, warmongering, and hatred, and all changes inflicted on the galaxy as a result, It dances between a warning to improve our ways and an inspiration at the ongoing fight to make that galaxy a better place. For players interested in exploring the villainous side, we're releasing a brand new bundle for Star Trek Online coming November 12th for 6,000 Zen! From November 12th at 8 a.m. to November 19th, 10 a.m., this bundle will be at 25% off. Bundle brings together some of the must-have items that any would-be mirror captain in Star Trek Online, count-wide costume unlocks, and intimidating pet, ground and space weaponry, a new Tier 6 starship, and more. Here's a full breakdown of everything in the bundle. And then there's no link, but yeah, if you go on the website, I'm sure you can read up on everything that's there. Comes with some spicy stuff. Yes. Wait, this looks a little strange. Same 33% on lifetime subscriptions. Didn't we just go over this?
Well, this is for Xbox and PS4.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I got confused. I'm like, didn't we already do this for PC? All right. STO is pleased to announce that Xbox One and PlayStation 4 lifetime subscriptions will be available for 33% off from November 5th to December 10th. Note, this is purchased in order to receive the rewards, and characters must be at least level 5 and have completed the tutorial. Upon reaching level 5, log out and go back into the game.
So that's what's basically going on in Xbox and PS4. They're getting the Legendary Mirror Bundle, and they do have a lifetime subscription sale going on at the moment. It's basically the same thing as PC, except unfortunately console doesn't get the stipend that PC does. That's
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
But you see, the other change or difference is that console buys the lifetime with Zen.
Oh, so you can grind lifetime.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You do not purchase it with money. You purchase it with Zen, which can be either got via money or dilithium. So that's why they don't get the stipend. So yeah, that's what's going on in console at the moment, which is cool to see them getting up to speed with PC, getting that Legendary Mirror Bundle, because I know that was a very popular bundle for everyone. Really liked that one.
I broke down and purchased it.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to purchase it as soon as it was announced.
Right, yeah, it's like, there goes my money.
I actually held off because I was like, I don't know if I want this. And then I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I have to get, if it says legendary, like I fall under their trap every time. If they put legendary in front of it, I'm like, all right, I guess I need it. So,
Yep.
And I just buy it because if anything, I just want that account-wide Starship tree unlock.
Moving on to item number 7, PC patch notes for the 5th of November 2020. Under General, they had resolved an issue that was preventing teammates from receiving episode rewards, resolved an issue where claiming all the pieces of the Iconium Resistance ground set would reward the incorrect title. Players that have already done this and received the incorrect title will find a new reputation project in the Iconium Resistance rep that they can use to claim the correct title. Resolved an error in the description on Solar Gateway that indicated it dealt anti-proton damage, and under known issues, titles rewarded by Iconian Rep 3-piece ground set completion and Iconian Reputation T5 completion are identical. Not very huge patch notes this week. So if you want to track them all out, you can go to StarTrekOnline.com to find out more. Moving on to Armada news. As always, this coming week is TFO Thursday in the Priority 1 Armada. This event is for all Priority 1 Armada members and offers a chance for us to team up together and earn marks, XP, and more importantly, dilithium. To check the time of this event, open up the fleet window and click on the Events tab to see the event in your local time zone. The Priority 1 Ferengi Alliance fleet finished its Tier 3 upgrade of the Colony during the week and has about 4 days left on its cooldown. This will bring the fleet up to level 76, so great job to all the members of the Ferengi Alliance. Well done, guys. Great work. The Priority 1 Romulan Republic fleet is working on its third Tier 2 upgrade on K-13 and its second Tier 2 upgrade on the Research Lab. So right now is a great time to earn fleet credits in the Romulan Republic. Moving on to the KDF side, the House of Moog fleet got its third Tier 5 upgrade on the colony world on cooldown, and at the time of this broadcast it has about 2 days left. This will bring the fleet up to level 84, so nearly finished. The House of Grilka fleet is working on the upgrade that will station a duty officer coordinator on the starbase. This project still needs duty officers, dilithium and fleet marks, so plenty of opportunities there in the House of Grilka to earn some fleet credits. The Klingon High Council fleet is working on its final Tier 3 upgrade on the Research Lab, and it still needs about 20,000 fleet marks and 100 duty officers to be completed. The fleet is also working on a short list of 17-hour upgrades that station a number of NPCs around the station that will provide various duty officer assignments. Finally, the Romulan Telchiar fleet finished its second Tier 2 upgrade on the Spire and its second Tier 4 upgrade on the Starbase during the week. At the time of this broadcast, both projects have about 2 days left on their cooldown. Once these are done, it will bring the fleet up to level 54. So great job, Romulan Telchiar fleet, and everyone in it. Congrats, guys. Excuse me. If you are interested in joining any of our specialty fleets, like the Klingon High Council, the Romulan Republic, or the Priority 1 Ferengi Alliance, or the Priority 1 Romulan Republic, you can submit your application on the Priority 1 Armada website once you have reached the fleet rank of Captain in any of our primary fleets. These specialty fleets offer 25% reduced requirements for all promotions, as well as instant access to all fleet stores from the very first rank. So you can do that, like I said, on the Priority 1 Armada website if you wish to join any of those specialty fleets. Lastly, in Armada news, there is one very special member that we would like to highlight and give a very special shout out to this week, and that is Captain Raybosh Borg of the Priority 1 Armada. You guys have heard me say it a million times on this show. Without incredible members like Captain Raybosh Borg and so many others who support the community by making a real world money donation via our website, we wouldn't be able to keep the lights on around here. It pays for website hosting fees, it pays for domain names, it pays for audio software for this production, and imaging software and restreaming software and all these other things. It pays for absolutely everything. So thank you, Captain Raybosh Borg, so much for your continued support of the Priority 1 Armada. We really, really do appreciate it. And thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, sincerely.
Is there anything that guy doesn't do?
I know, right? If you would like to support the Priority 1 Armada, you can make a donation on our website and receive a thank you package based on the amount you donate. Visit PriorityOneArmada.com to find out more. Okay, so before we jump into our away mission this week, we are going to talk to our two special guests, Nick, the leader of the Stonewall Fleet, and Dave, the head of public relations. So, Nick, we'll start off with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Stonewall Fleet, how long you guys have been around, that sort of thing?
Well, Stonewall Fleet is the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and straight ally fleet. We've been around since about, I think it's July of 2008, so it was pretty early on.
Yeah.
We've been pretty active and consistent since then. We host regular events, and we've been growing our brand into the Stonewall Gaming Network, where we have many other guilds and other games, and presences in smaller games.
Awesome.
Like what other games?
Star Wars: The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2, we have guilds in. We also have quite a few players that play Dead by Daylight and Fortnite, Fallout 76, a few others that come to mind.
Oh, you play 76. I'm sorry.
I don't play so. Unfortunately, I'm one of the Fortnite players.
Oh, okay.
And how many fleets do you guys have now in Star Trek Online?
We have 4 fleets. We have Stonewall Fleet, Deep Space Stonewall, Stonewall Legion, which is our Romulan themed fleet, and House of Nogred, which translate to House of Stonewall, which is our KDF fleet.
Right. Okay, cool. And how are you guys getting in terms of progressing those fleets along? Like, are you max level on all of them, or are you still working on them?
I think most of them are max level.
Nice.
There might be 1 or 2 little things we're finishing up, like on the colony, or that's the most recent holding, right? Yeah. That we're finishing up in some of the alt fleets, but no, we're lucky to have pretty generous members who go in there and build them up as pretty quickly as they can.
Awesome, fantastic. Dave, we'll move on to you. So, as head of public relations for Stonewall, you guys are very organized. Like, what sort of stuff do you do for Stonewall? Like I suppose the larger community, not just the fleet itself or fleets.
Well, the challenge for us has always been expanding past Star Trek Online, where the majority of our player base is. It's always drawn the majority of our members in, and so recently, within the last couple of years, we've really started to push out and expand into other games, just to ensure the longevity of our community after Star Trek Online has, come and gone. And not to suggest that that's going to happen in the near future. We see a lot of long-term potential for the game for sure, but we always wanted to branch out into other areas, right? So Nick mentioned a couple of games that we're interested that we play among our community members, but one of the big things that like Stonewall really excels at is community events, right? From small regular weekly events like TFO Tuesdays, for example, where we all get together and play organized TFOs, to movie nights where we all get together on Discord through a third-party app and watch Netflix movies and that sort of thing.
Right.
Just social events that bring us together. And then, of course, the one thing that we do a lot of in Stonewall is monthly events. And so from September is usually our month where we start getting into the fall season, right? And we do our Romulan Farmers Festival. So it's a full weekend of Romulan themed events for, our Romulan contingent that just love playing that faction.
Yeah.
So we do everything from TFO runs to costume contests to trivia, you name it. And then, of course, October being Halloween, right, is where we do our annual Halloween event. And so this year we had a lot of fun with that. We had an in-person, with Discord Live being an option now, we did like an actual real life costume contest for the first time, whereas all the previous years it had been, in-game costumes and whatnot for your characters. Star Trek bingo, Star Trek trivia, all sorts of really cool things that just bring the community together in more of like a social environment, and are both in Stowe and outside of Stowe as well. And coming up in November, we have a reflection day, which really gets you to take the alter ego of your character and really bring him out to play for a weekend, whether that be the mirror universe counterpart to your regular stand-up Federation character, or something a little bit different, whether you decide to jump into freighter and be a freighter captain for the weekend. And so we have a lot of events that are designed to kind of let you show off your alter ego.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds really awesome.
Yeah, so those are just 3 of like the many events that we do throughout the year. And then, of course, come the winter season, we have a Christmas event that we do. So we like to bring people together. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our annual Pride Weekend, which is every year in July, and brings the entire community together. Not just our fleet and our Armada members, but we open it up to the entire Star Trek Online community, and bring everybody out for the entire weekend to have a lot of fun with us.
Nice. That is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. It really sounds like you guys have captured the essence of Star Trek, like bringing people together and really just bringing people together to have fun and have a good time, and sounds like an escape, like from real world concerns and stuff. Just come here, join us, and have a bit of fun.
It's one of the really nice parts of Stonewall Fleet is that we're not just a fleet that plays, Star Trek together. We're really, a family. We're an extension of the GLBT community. And that really makes our group look very special.
Nice. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. So, I suppose my next question is, do you guys have a website, social media that people can check you guys out or follow you or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Nick will speak to the website, and I'll talk to the social media.
Yeah, so you can check out the fleet.stonewallgaming.net, and you can check out the organization at stonewallgaming.net. We have links to, I think, most of our social media on there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have presence on Facebook and Instagram at Stonewall Gaming Net, Twitter at Stonewall GN, and on YouTube, where you get to see some of the videos of our mashups from playing both in Stowe and a variety of other games at Stonewall Gaming Network.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, thank you guys. I know I said this earlier, but thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's just great to actually get talking to you guys, and to learn a little bit more about Stonewall Fleet. I was saying to you guys before the show that I actually got to meet a few Stonewall guys at the 2016 or the 50th anniversary of Star Trek in Star Trek Las Vegas, and it was just it was great. Like I was in my element just meeting so many Star Trek people, and the Stonewall guys were absolutely fantastic as well. That I did get to meet. I was kind of like the outsider, and everybody knew everybody. I'm just sort of sitting there, with a big smile on my face, going, yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely overwhelming for the first time, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the one nice thing about Vegas is it brings so many communities together, not just Priority 1, right, but so many other fleets that we see there, and Stonewall as well. And over the years, it's really kind of grown into an annual vacation for a lot of us, where we have upwards of 10, 15 members of our community, if not more, from around the world that come to join us there. And whether it be former members or present members, it's just one of those places that brings everyone together, and we just have a full week of great time. And this last year was going to be our biggest turnout in terms of planned traveling, of course, until the pandemic hit.
So you actually do this every year. A group of you actually do meet up every year at Star Trek Las Vegas.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that is fantastic. We'll have to see if we can organize something, or get to buy you guys a pint or something like that at the next Star Trek Las Vegas that I get to go to. Definitely have to try and meet up with you guys if you're there.
Yeah, I imagine next year there's going to be a lot of people that will be glad to get along to Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
Right. Well, look at
I want to ask you guys a question.
Oh yeah, fire ahead.
Oh no.
How much do you guys know about how Priority 1 started?
I probably know more than most.
So
Brandon and Mark.
Mark, yeah. How did they know each other?
How did they know each other? I actually don't know how they knew each other. Or
They were members of Stonewall Fleet.
Brand Flakes?
Yeah, Brandon Felcher. Yeah.
Oh.
Who's actually also in Ireland at the moment. He's living over here now. Yeah.
I remember I didn't know who that dude was, and then I was playing a TFO and I saw Brandon's node in it, and I was like, what?
Get back to ground.
Brandon's node? Yeah. And then it was years later, I think it was like a year or two later, I actually met him, and I was like, oh, he's the GM. That makes total sense now.
Yeah.
He bragged about that for some time.
Wouldn't you? I mean, I really like Brandon. I miss Brandon.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, Brandon's a good guy.
He definitely had his finger on the pulse of the community. Like, he took his time to log in and run TFOs and play PvP with us and stuff. And come back, Brandon. We miss you, buddy.
Yes.
He pops on every now and then. He's been around a little bit more lately for that I've seen him on.
Unfortunately, I was only friends with him on his dev account, which is no longer active, obviously, yeah. But
do you know who originally, hosted Priority 1?
It depends on how far back you're going now.
The Quantum Cafe.
Oh, the Quantum Cafe? Yeah.
Do you know who ran the Quantum Cafe?
Actually, I don't know.
It was me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So I was part of Priority 1 in the very, very early beginning.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Wow.
Was that with the first fleet you were in, or were you in others, and then you?
Well, I mean, so Brandon was in a different podcast that was started in Stonewall Fleet really early, and then that one ended. And afterwards, he wanted to start a second one, which ended up being Priority One.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his friend Mark that he knew then, and he needed someone to help him set up a website for it. So he asked me, and I helped him get it started. Sometime later, they ended up kind of separating from the Quantum Cafe and going out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And the modern, Priority One started.
Yep, that's right. And Brandon got the job then with Cryptic, working as community manager. Yeah.
I was in the interviews when he was interviewing Elijah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, Jesus, now you're going back. Yeah, I became a fan of Priority One around episode 89-ish. Like, that's when I started playing the game. And from listening to the episodes, you just naturally get to know everyone and the history and everything. And yeah, I remember the Quantum Cafe, and I actually met Brandon as well, in Vegas in 2016, and I was friends with him in game as well when he was community manager. And you're right, like, Brandon he really did have his finger on the pulse of the community. Like, he was such a great community manager. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, wow, I can't believe you ran the Quantum Cafe.
Yep, all those years and years ago.
Yeah, God, wow. Okay, well, I guess we are going to move on to our away mission, which is in the Gamma Quadrant. So I guess we can all beam up to our ships now, and we will all arrive in the Gamma Quadrant as a great big flash mob group.
I am already there, actually, because I got this new ship, and I was like, I can't wait to try. I just gotta fly it. And so anybody that wants to team up for KDF, just throw a K in the Priority One chat, please.
Awesome.
And I'll team up with you.
Yeah, so I've just beamed up here now, and actually, do you know what we'll do? We'll announce the winner of our current giveaway. How's that sound, guys? Yeah? Sound like an idea?
That's a horrible idea. I think we should make him wait. Suspense.
I don't think we've announced the winner of our second giveaway yet.
I think it should be me.
I think it should be you.
I think it should be him too, but it probably won't be.
Deep Space Nine, transwarping now. Right, okay, so back to announcing the winner. So this was for a Groupies Breast Cancer Awareness Mega Pack, which has got a couple of ships in it and a few other items. It's a really good pack. I want to say it's valued at like $75 or something.
That sounds about right.
I think, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, the winner of a Groupies Breast Cancer Awareness Mega Pack is Stasis51, a Twitch viewer. Congratulations!
Stasis.
You have won a Groupies Breast Cancer Awareness Mega Pack. So if you can please contact us, send a whisper to the Priority One Twitch channel, and let us know what your email address is. We will send that prize to you at the end of the show. Congrats again, well done.
Congrats. So, Dave, why don't you tell me what got you into Star Trek? Like, what was your first experience with the show? What did you start watching? Like, how long have you been into it?
Oh my god, you're really gonna make me sound old here. When I was a kid, would have been in the 80s, my dad always brought home like a Star Trek original series episode on VHS for me at the end of every week. So that was like the thing I looked forward to the most, was like every Friday I knew my dad after work was going to bring home like a new Star Trek episode and we're going to be able to watch together. And so that's what got me into Star Trek. And then of course when TNG came out, watched a little bit of that, and the rest just followed, right? Loved DS9 and Voyager, of course.
Oh, that's cool.
And
so
now I
you're
can't get enough of it.
Since, yeah, I actually have a similar experience because when I was a kid growing up, I remember watching, my dad would watch like the old TOS stuff, but I wasn't interested in it. And then when TNG started, like, I remember sitting down with him and watching the premiere and just being like grabbed by it. It was so fascinating to me. And oh, why is that guy like green? He's like, oh, he's an android. And I was like, oh, cool, that's a robot. And so yeah, it was really just time that I spent with my dad. So
That's awesome.
Definitely connected. And then that way. How about you, Nick? What was your first experience with Trek?
Well, actually, if you don't mind, guys, just to interject here for a second, I want to start our third giveaway, and then we can, chit chat while we're doing the away mission. So I'm just going to quickly kick this off. Our third giveaway is for a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code pack. All right, this was the convention item in 2018, if I remember correctly. You can't get these anywhere. They're not available in Mudd's Market or the Phoenix Prize Pack, but we're giving away a code tonight for a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code pack. And the correct me if I'm wrong, Z, but the traits that are on these bridge officers are pretty sweet.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Space Warfare Specialist on
Right.
Lorca, because usually when you first start playing your captain, you don't really have access to any of the
Yep.
fun buffs, unless you're Romulan. But yeah, Space Warfare Specialist is a great ability to have, especially when you're leveling. Those little levels that really you notice the difference in your damage output.
Yep. So, what we would like you guys to do for your chance to win a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code pack, we want you to type in the word NICE into the chat now. Whether you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, type in the word NICE, and that will enter you in with the chance of winning a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code pack. So, best of luck, everyone. Alright, sorry guys. Nick, fire ahead.
Much the same as Dave. I started watching, TNG with my dad when I was pretty young. And I remember always, liking it, but it wasn't probably until, high school that I started catching like Voyager on reruns and stuff like that. And that's when I really kind of, fell in love with Star Trek, specifically like the Voyager and Captain Janeway. And I've been pretty much, hooked ever since.
So I was a bit of the opposite. Like when I got to high school, I kind of like rejected Star Trek, and I was like, no, that's like nerd stuff. Like I'm a cool high school kid. I don't want anything to do with that. And then afterwards, like I remember, my dad had just passed away, and I was with my brother, and it wasn't like right away. It was like a year or two later, and we were sitting there, and Enterprise came on. This is right when Spike. You guys remember Spike TV?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It was like
yeah.
TV for men, like, and they'd play like all this weird stuff. And
TV for
that's
men.
how they sold it. They're like, oh, it's TV for
Wow.
guys, like it's bro stuff. Anyway, but one of the things they played was Enterprise, which it had kind of like slipped past my radar. Like I had completely forgotten about Star Trek for years. So we started watching an episode, and I was like, wow, this is actually like pretty good. And I kind of forgot how good Star Trek is. So I went back and I watched the whole, all of Enterprise and the old TNG episodes. I was like, this is great. I really forgot like how awesome Star Trek is. And then I started to get back into it like intensely. So yeah, it sounds again like a bit of a similar story there.
Talking about Enterprise, it was one of the series that when it first started, I really turned my back on because I really didn't want to go back in time. And then when I watched it after it had been canceled, I felt so guilty because it was such a great series, I thought.
But you love TOS. Why wouldn't you want more pastime?
Yeah, you would think so, but yeah, it was just wasn't my mindset. I was straight out of high school. I had my attention on other things, and when they talked about going back in time right before TOS, I was a little let down. And because I wanted to look to the future, it's something to hope for as opposed to what was. Although it was still in the future, right? But
Yes, no, but I was the very same. I was like, you're going back in time, and I was completely against Enterprise. I was like, no, you stick to the same timeline or go forward. You don't go back. And it took me years to watch Enterprise, and then I finally watched it. I was like, this actually isn't a bad show. And by the time I got to season 4, I was like, oh man, it got cancelled after season 4.
Right.
I remember being like, hey, that's Sam from Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Ziggy, remember Ziggy?
Yeah, Ziggy with the bad breath. Yeah.
Slight tangent, but I find it really amusing that you've all been watching Star Trek longer than I've been alive.
Well, it couldn't be that much longer. I mean, I am only... Oh, dear God.
Hey, if you saw Voyager when it first came out, Voyager is
I did see
older than I
Voyager
am.
when it
Wow.
first came out. Yeah, I watched Deep Space Nine and Voyager when they were first out, and then yeah, again, I had kind of like rejected it for a while, and it wasn't until years later that I went back and watched them in their completion and got the full, you know, the series finale and all that. So here, I got another question, guys. I guess I'll go with Dave first. Who's your favorite captain and why?
A popular topic in STLV.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to stir the pot here.
I gotta be honest, I think Cisco was.
Oh, good answer. I like this. Yeah, all right.
I mean, I like the fact that he was vulnerable when he first came to this series, right? He had just lost Jennifer, and you know, he wasn't your typical Starfleet officer. He didn't want to be there. He was thinking about throwing it all in and doing something different. You know, single father, and that really, I related to that. There have been so many things that I've gotten into where I just wasn't sure at the end of it if I really had like the ability to see it through, right? And so you know, Cisco sticking in with it, right, and then becoming the emissary and becoming a captain and just working through the whole series was really kind of an inspiration for me.
So I didn't really get that from him. I really liked Cisco as a captain, but mostly because he was like, especially towards when the Dominion War hit, he turned to like a very much a rule breaker. You know, like he wasn't afraid to do like the dirty stuff that Starfleet was kind of like against and not really willing to do, but it was also necessary because of the war. So it really showed a stark contrast between, you know, do I compromise my morals and my ideology for the greater good? You know, lots of cool philosophical sort of stuff that Star Trek I think used to handle, but sort of doesn't really go that direction anymore. How about you, Nick? What was your favorite? Who is your favorite captain and why?
Janeway, absolutely. I mean, you know, I love that she's a scientist, and you know, she's a strong character, but really, she taught me that you can both be, you know, this commanding leader, but you can also be caring and nurturing. That you can be both this masculine and feminine. That they're not, you know, diametric opposites, but that you can be, you know, both of these. And as a gay man, that was a really good lesson for me to learn as a you know, a growing teenager. So I'm kind of always thankful to her for that.
That's a very interesting take on the character. I think that's the first time I've heard her described that way. I'm gonna have to, because she's honestly, Voyager's one of my least favorite Trek shows. So I think next time I do a watch through of that, I'm gonna have to. Well, no, I'm gonna be honest, and it has nothing really to do with that. It's just it, you know, well, I'll be honest. It has to do with the Borg, the way they handled the Borg. I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you watch her with 7 or 9 when she comes on the crew, and I mean before that, you know, there's plenty of instances where you can see her, you know, mothering the crew, not just being the captain, but being there emotionally and supporting, you know, her crew, in a way that I don't see, you know, you don't really see with like Picard and whatnot. And at the same
you never
time,
saw that with Picard.
Yeah.
No.
So you really, and then at the same time, she's decisive and, you know, leads the way and goes straight into the fray. Yeah, I always admired that.
Yeah, next time because it's been a while since I sat down and watched any of the older Trek shows. So next time I do a watch through of Voyager, I'm gonna have to, you know, look for that in the character, and maybe I'll get a different take from it when I get to the end and step away from it. So thank you. Yeah, different perspective on Janeway there for me. So I guess you said Voyager is your favorite Trek show. What's your favorite of the series, Dave?
Well, you know what? I've really taken a liking to Lower Decks.
Yeah.
I like it too, but it's still got that Kurtzman curse to it, if you ask me.
Of the series, I mean, I gotta say that original series is always the thing I go back to. And I mean, I know so many of the episodes are really corny, but so many of them are great. And I mean, it's just what I remember as a kid. And so, of course, that's what draws me into it. Episodes like The Corbomite Maneuver, one of my top favorite, The Balance of Terror, Spectre of the Gun. I mean, they were just epic, and they were Star Trek for me. And so I love everything that followed. Don't get me wrong, but those are the things I remember when I think of Star Trek. And then behind me on my shelf, my gaming shelf, I have a TOS communicator. I've got a tricorder on order, right? Like, you know, it's just it hits me in all the right places.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I kind of skipped over Selleck and Winters, but I'm pretty sure I've asked them in the past already what these same
it's fine,
questions.
it's fine.
So, yeah, sorry if I didn't dive into that.
No.
No, you don't care. It's cool.
No, I care.
You're gonna be
I care,
around much
totally
longer
care,
anyway.
So I guess here comes the nasty stuff. Let's get into the gritty of it. What do you guys think of the new? Well, we talked about Lower Decks, or just mentioned it briefly. What do you think of the newer stuff? Picard, Discovery, Lower Decks. What's your take on the new Kurtzman Trek?
Nick, you go for it.
Overall, I like it. I mean, I'm sure there's, criticisms to be had. Is there a specific
be
series?
Be honest. Tell me, I mean, take on it. Yeah.
I mean, so we've got 3 series right now, right? We've got Picard, Discovery, and Lower Decks. Lower Decks, I like. I think Lower Decks is really great. I think they did a fantastic job sticking to canon. And it's very funny and lighthearted. Picard, I was not so crazy about how they wrap the plot and a lot of the science behind it. Discovery, I've really been enjoying this season. I don't think I cared too much about last season. I thought it was a bit predictable, and I liked the first season.
Okay, so I agree with you there. With Discovery, I very much enjoyed the first season, and then season 2, I was like, yeah, I feel like it's going a bit, in a direction I like. Although New Eden was by far my favorite episode so far. Yeah, it not only felt like Trek, like it, all the elements were there, and it was a good story. I definitely like New Eden, but then from there, it just sort of went downhill for me. I was like, I'm not really too into this. Picard was a big letdown for me. I felt like, because they said when they announced that it was going to be this in-depth character piece of Jean-Luc, and we were going to look into that, and I don't think we got that from it. It didn't feel, I didn't get that from the show at all.
My biggest problem with it, sorry to interrupt, was that it felt like Mass Effect 1. It felt like
everyone says that, but I never played
Mass
Effect, so I'm like, oh, whatever, sure.
Releasing a updated version of Mass Effect trilogy, so you should give it a try. It's a good series, and there's some definite parallels between the 2 stories.
Okay. Well, I think my big complaint about it though was just the way it was structured. It felt like a 10-hour long thing rather than they needed to break it up a little more. It's okay, I guess, but yeah. And then as far as Lower Decks go, I have to agree with you. Of all the new Trek that's coming out, I think it closest to being that classic Trek that I remember, and they definitely took it in a new direction. Like, it was an animated comedy, so that's what I expected to get out of it, and they did deliver for the most part. So I definitely enjoyed Lower Decks out of the 3.
Do you think it's too Rick and Morty?
No, I don't. It's there. You definitely get that there, but I don't think it's too Rick and Morty. Yeah, I don't want to turn into that either. I don't want to be like, oh, Rick and Morty Star Trek. I want it to be its own thing.
I think that's what they're doing with it. They are making it its own thing, and they're handling the references very, very well. Whereas, Discovery was like, right, we're just throwing the Enterprise in and Spock, and
yeah.
Instead of just making well, I suppose it's kind of hard with the timeline that's set, I suppose, but maybe that's why people were against Discovery. Well, I know for me,
Discovery, I have so many problems with
I know,
it,
yeah.
especially now, but
one of them is just the redesign of the Klingons when we had a brilliant explanation from Enterprise, and was only done for the story, of season 1, and the other thing is then the discontinuity that there is in the technology. You know?
It's not just the canon stepping on the story, the way they're structuring stories and stuff, and the way they handle, the characters and everything. It's a different direction, but it's not something that I wanted to see from Star Trek. I always go into each episode thinking, hey, I'm gonna look at this as space adventure show, and I enjoy it a lot more. But then when I look at it as Star Trek, I'm like, oh, this just doesn't. It's not there. Like there's so much missing. So I like it.
Just a bunch of bitter old men.
I am. I'm yelling at clouds. I'll admit it. Like it's me just being that old fogey. Like this isn't my Star Trek, but I don't own Star Trek, so it was never mine. It's everybody's. So, and how about you, Nick? What are your thoughts on the new show?
Discovery season 3 or
Oh, just all three of them. The Picard, Discovery, and Lower Decks.
Did we already do me?
I'm sorry, Dave. I apologize.
It's okay.
You know what? Of the three of them, and there are going to be some people that are upset with me, but Picard is the one that I like the least, and I think it's the character development, and spoilers, but a lot of people take a different bit of a turn, and characters that we really held dear were kind of dispensed with, right? And so, I mean, that was a bit of a letdown for me, and you could tell the budget was a little bit low, and so it didn't feel like we were jumping ahead into the future, right? It felt like we were seeing a lot of the past in terms of technology and whatnot. I wasn't sold on it. I didn't really like it, but I mean, I'll still watch it because it's Star Trek and I enjoy it generally. But of the three that are on the air right now, I would have to say that Lower Decks has all the right comedic references to what it means to be a Star Trek nerd, right?
Right.
They touch on all those things, and you really wouldn't get it unless you were one yourself, right? And so you have to tip your hat to the writers for that. And Discovery, I've always really kind of enjoyed. The one thing I will say that's a bit of a drawback for me in terms of Discovery is that everything in season 1 and 2 seems so fast-paced, right? There was never any downtime. There was never any time to really, get to know the characters, right? Whereas we're seeing a lot more of that in season 3, which I'm appreciative of.
I agree with you 100%. And they did, like, another problem with Discovery is they keep introducing new characters and they don't go into really any of the other characters in depth. Like, there's that whole bridge crew of Reese and Osu and Detmer, and they have these people there, and they're just kind of like in the background.
Exactly. We don't know anything about them, and so when there is somebody that has a death from the bridge crew from season 1 or 2 or whatnot, you don't feel any connection to it.
Yeah,
I didn't really know them at all, right?
I agree with you exactly. I'm like, all right, so he's dead. Sorry. And then there's the blonde girl who comes in from engineering, whose name I can't even remember because she's so.
I have no idea.
But now she's getting all this screen time, and I'm like,
Right.
wait, who is that? When did this happen? I also felt the same way, kind of, especially the pilot of Lower Decks was so fast paced and so like, okay, now I'm gonna say this. All right, let me say that, and the jokes weren't landing and everything, but I think by the time they did the actual, after the pilot, the first episode 2, they sort of fixed that and went back to like normal. Okay, let's let the jokes land. Let's not barrage the audience with dialogue. I'm very hopeful for that. I'm looking forward to season 2 when it finally comes out.
I think that Lower Decks, it's very apparent that the writers are Star Trek fans.
Oh, agree 100%.
And
yes.
Discovery, I didn't get that sense that they're Star Trek fans. I just didn't get that sense in what was portrayed, or it's
Felt like a JJ Trek. I'm so
Right, yeah.
sorry for that term, but
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And like we've talked about this on the Priority One Discord server so many times. Like, you have Mandalorian out now, and like,
love it, by the way.
yeah, like practically everyone is going, oh my god. And again, you have somebody, Jon Favreau, who is clearly a Star Wars fan, and he's producing and making an incredible show. And Lower Decks knocked it out of the park, but I don't get that sense with Picard or Discovery. Like, wow, really? It's not hitting home
I
for
get
me.
that they're trying to do something new with the franchise and breathe new life into it. I think they went a little too extreme, and that they maybe if they went back to the roots, I would be more on board with both shows. But then again, like, you know, you can't stagnate. I'm looking forward to Strange New Worlds because they promised us a more episodic, more, you know, less intense, less. Another problem that I have with both Picard and Discovery is it's so violent and dark and you know, I get this feeling like hopelessness from it.
Right.
I think that's what Trek should be about. So to me, I feel like, oh, it's missing that element that like, oh, hopeful future and all the good stuff. Those philosophical quandaries that would pop up and they discuss things, and then you watch Picard and it's just Romulans chopping people's heads off.
Right, because I think, like, with Picard, you know, it was like the Federation is coming apart at the same, or it's not the same Federation. You know, I mean, like,
It isn't.
He was told to F off, like, in what, episode 2 or 3, and it's like, whoa, what? Really? So the pillar of light that has always been there was the Federation. Like, even in Deep Space Nine, that was dark and gritty. You know, it was about a war, which is a terrible thing, and people dying, and, you know, always there in the background was the Federation, and that symbol of hope was always there. And I don't get that from Picard. I really didn't get it from Picard at all.
But that was kind of part of the plot, though. Was like, oh, the Federation is being, you know, infiltrated by the evil, one-dimensional villains, and they wanted to stop the robots because they hate robots. And
right, the Federation has gone back on what it was, and that's not good. Well, I don't like it. I think that was probably one of my biggest problems with Picard.
Slight tangent, but since we're all in the TFO together, I'd like to say I really enjoy your ship's name there, Nick. The USS Stonewall D.
The A and C were not so lucky.
Lovely ships, though. So, are you guys from the New York area at all, or?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm from Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay.
I'm from northern Canada.
No.
Yes.
I kind of caught from the A.
Oh no, did I let
it As soon as you said it, I went, I know where that is from.
It's my tell.
So back to the bashing Trek. What do you guys think of Kurtzman and his handling of the franchise?
Well, that's a loaded question, if ever.
Well, it's nice to have Star Trek on the air again, right? I mean, like
Yes, absolutely.
They canceled Enterprise when it was still had a good amount of viewers, and they were like, well, it can do better later, so we're just gonna wait. So, and then we just didn't have Star Trek for almost a decade or something.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah.
But now it almost feels like we're being overwhelmed, right? Now we've got 3 shows, we've got
2 or 3 more in the making.
Yeah, it just feels almost overwhelming, like gonna overdo it. I don't want the audience to get tired of Star Trek and then us have to go back into a drought again. The only thing that I'm kind of like frustrated with right now is that a lot of the shows that they're watching, you know, like Discovery and Picard, is that most of the enjoyability of watching the show is, you know, what's going to happen, the suspense, you know, who how are they going to get themselves out of this, and there's no, you know, rewatchability. Like, I could go back and rewatch an episode of Voyager 100 times because you know it's, you know, a bottle episode or whatnot. Yeah. With this, the excitement of rewatching it just isn't there. We get that a little bit with you know, Below the Decks, which is nice. But I do kind of miss that. And at the same time, if it was the other way around, I'd be bitching, or sorry, it's part of my language. I'd be complaining. I'd be complaining that, you know, they didn't update Trek, that it's, you know, outdated story arcs like modern television is. So
I will say I agree with you, Nick, in the sense that I've never gone back to rewatch an episode of Discovery or Picard, right? Because I've seen it, and I know the story, I know the outcome, right? Whereas the episodic content, as much as it's controversial in the sense that you don't get a full story arc. I do go back and rewatch over and over and over again.
Do you find, because I get this a lot too, whenever I go back and go on a a little Star Trek where you watch an entire one all the way through. Do you ever like find yourself stepping away and going, "Hey, I never realized that," or "I didn't notice that particular choice," or I didn't get that. Yeah, I get that from old Trek. I don't think I get that from new Star Trek. Not, or at least not on the level that I got from the previous series.
Maybe it is an age thing, because I completely disagree. I have rewatched Discovery and Picard multiple times, and I'm always finding more to love about it. Like, Picard and Discovery to me are in exactly the same sort of echelon of love as like original Trek, as you would put it. Like,
I think that for me it hasn't been long enough for me to take that step away and go back to do a rewatch. So, because that's part of it. When it's fresh in your mind, like, I don't want to rewatch it. I want to let it sort of resonate and think about it. And then, like, a year or two later, I'll go back and check it out.
You see, I can't wait to do a rewatch of Lower Decks. Like, I'm really looking forward to rewatching season 1 of that. And, of course, I cannot wait for season 2.
I typically do it before the next season comes out. I'll watch the previous season to catch up.
I done that with The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk that dirty word. Thoughts on Orville? What do you guys
must we?
Yes.
I thought we played Star Trek.
We do play Star Trek.
Orville Online.
But it's look. I'm just gonna call it. I was happy with Orville. I liked Orville. It felt very Trekky. It felt like that old Star Trek that I was used to.
I agree, with a little hint of comedy, right?
Right.
I enjoyed it for what it was, right? It wasn't intended as a Star Trek replacement. I think it was like an homage to Star Trek, and for that, I'm thankful for it. And it gave us a little bit of filler while we were waiting for more Trek to come out.
Well, that's kind of true. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct about this, McFarlane wrote it as a Star Trek show originally, but they didn't. CBS wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
They wanted to pick it up. Yeah.
Well, it's all right.
Yeah. So that's why. And then they were like, "Oh, well, if we change it, this much, we can kind of get away with doing it."
Yeah. As Zeth went to CBS and pitched the idea for a new Star Trek show, and they were just like, "Nope, not you.
I think that what they had said was we already have this other thing in the works, and that turned out to be Discovery.
Right.
But then, it came out later on, like, they were kind of contractually obligated to go with Kurtzman because Moonves had handed him some sort of crazy thing on his way out the door, and yeah, that kind of led to where we're at now.
I mean, I guess it's all in your point of view, and I didn't go in expecting it to be a replacement for Star Trek. I expected it to be, just kind of an easygoing show, just like Lower Decks, right? And I enjoyed it for what it was, and I honestly can't wait for the next season. And I'm not sure what was taking so long, because I thought it was supposed to be coming out in November of this year.
Oh, so what happened was they switched they switched channels or networks. They went from Fox to Hulu, and then COVID hit, so that pushed production back even further. And they were like, "It's McFarlane actually released about it. He was like, no, it's not canceled. It's just we changed networks, and then COVID hit. Our production is way far behind, but it is coming back."
Oh, terrific! I am excited for it.
I have a very different perspective. I think it's crap. I think it's a really badly done Star Trek knockoff. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think there's an internal consistency to the story or the plot. If you listen to them talk about their own version of the Prime Directive, their application of it randomly applies, and I think it's very badly done.
I'm not going to deny that, but if you watch Star Trek, sometimes they do that too. I don't want to be an apologist, oh, Orville, they do it in Star Trek all the time. I have seen that, though, in Star Trek, depending on really who the captain is at the time.
I'd like to say Star Trek is inconsistent, but over a matter of 15 years, not one season.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. I'll give you that much, yes.
I mean, I watch it because I'm a sci-fi fan, and it's sci-fi, but I don't like watching it.
You're like, I hate the show. I like watching it.
That's exactly how I felt through like all of season 2 of The Orville. I was like, at this point, I'm just getting to the end of this season so I can say I watched it.
See, I enjoyed some of the social commentary, the social media episode where.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, that was a great one. Yeah.
I like that one. I thought that was a little bit deeper than some of the other episodes.
It was a poorly made knockoff of a Black Mirror episode.
I found that to be the same case too. My takeaway from it was it's more like Star Trek, but instead of being, serious with the funny sprinkled in, it's funny with the serious sprinkled in.
Right.
Yeah.
See, we shouldn't have had the Orville. We should have had that Callisto as a full show.
Now that I could get on board with, literally. Yeah, I like that episode. It's a shame that they didn't expand on it because they left it open-ended enough where they could have. Any other sci-fi stuff in the world? Well, we kind of touched on Mandalorian, but we don't talk about Star Wars here because, that other franchise that doesn't exist.
Mandalorian's so good.
It is, though.
It's so good. I just watched episode 2 last night after being up for like 26 hours. And I watched the new episode. I was like, this is
I haven't
absolutely
seen
amazing.
it yet. I'm going to be watching it with Kat later, I think. So.
All right, nice.
Yeah, so don't
No
no
spoilers.
please. Oh, absolutely not. No. But we can talk about season 1 if you want. I really, really enjoyed season 1. I thought it was great.
Which do you guys like, Witcher or Mandalorian better?
Oh, I haven't seen all of Witcher yet.
Never seen Witcher, so it's the Mandalorian.
I haven't
Watch
seen
The Witcher.
either.
Well, I haven't
The
played
Witcher
any of the
is
games,
so much better.
I haven't played any of the
You don't
games,
need
so
to.
I have no context. I know I don't need to, but going in, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of following it, but it makes it harder to get into it because I have no, pre-existing context to the franchise.
I've never played any of the games too, and I really enjoyed the show.
I always hear about the Henry Cavill bath scene. That's all I ever hear about from that show.
I mean, that is really nice.
I know everyone's like, oh, it's him in the bath. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great, but I just want to see him chop up witches. So can we get to that? It's like talking. And then there's the thing with the kid. Somebody kept showing me this one, the memes all across the internet with the kid where he's like, he wants. I don't know. I forget what was going on in the story. I've lost it. Never mind.
Just a reminder, guys, our third giveaway is currently active at the moment. It is for a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code Pack, and the word we want you to type in is the word night. If you have not typed in the word, do so now on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, whatever platform you're viewing on. If you've already typed it in, don't worry. Typing it in a second time doesn't do anything.
Go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say quickly, as someone who's done a couple of the Stonewall events, I can highly recommend them. They are a lot of fun, and they clearly put a lot of effort into running them.
Yeah, I'm going to brag a little bit. Dave does an amazing job hosting events. So he usually does the Halloween event. And this year he did Star Trek Bingo, and his Star Trek trivia game is amazing. He has a emergency, what's it called?
Emergency game show host hologram.
Yes, that he plays
Okay.
on Discord that has, funny advertisements and makes jokes and, plays along, and it's really, really good. He does a really great job with it. If you come to our Pride, I'm going to almost guarantee he'll be running it, and you'll be able to experience it in all its glory.
Nice.
See, I did turn up for the tail end of that, which was the what was it? Is this a British monarch or a the ugliest dog in the world?
Apologies if that offended anybody. Yeah, we had a fun little social quiz. And that, a lot of our quizzes and events and that sort of thing, we award Stonewall credits for the people that participate and for the winners. And what we have set up is a redemption store. So after attending so many of our events and accumulating so many of our credits, you can go to our store at credits.stonewallfleet.com, and you can redeem it for in-game or out-of-game merchandise. So if you have like 10 credits saved up, you could buy potentially, a set of master keys, etc. So that's kind of what we do, to reward people for showing up to our events. And this was just kind of a fun social event afterwards. As the night was winding down, we had a little this or that quiz, and you had to pick, from a couple different categories. We'd give you the name of something you'd have to differentiate. Was it this or that? In this case, it was the name of a British monarch or the world's ugliest dog's name.
So I'm trying to, as an American, I'm trying to wrap my head around what the two have to do with each other. I'm not following.
Do you have any examples handy?
I'm sure I could dig some up. Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, as an American, there's a few things I'm terrible at. Geography is going to be one of them. We're naturally just dead at that. And basically anything that goes on outside of our borders. So.
Sorry.
Canada's right above you.
No, it's Mexico. Everyone knows that. I'm trying to think of any of the new sci-fi stuff that's been coming out recently, but my mind is sort of locked up. There was a few shows that were the new Dune movie coming out soon.
I mean, that looks fantastic. Unfortunately, they postponed it recently.
I kind of expected that, but are you a fan of that franchise at all? The books?
I've never read the books. I tried watching the original 1986
the
version
David
with Patrick
Lynch
Stewart, and it
horrible,
was
yeah.
whole hard.
No.
But the sci-fi miniseries that they did, I really enjoyed that.
Oh
That was
yeah,
really good.
absolutely. I think that they did a better job of adapting the books into a story rather than the David Lynch movie. Like, the first part of it felt kind of like Dune, but then as soon as they get in the desert, I'm like, all right, this is just turned into a David Lynch film. Like, he sort of turned it into his own thing, and it doesn't work. But yeah, the Dune series is incredible. I encourage everyone to check out the books, and like you said, the sci-fi miniseries they did, I think there's like two of them. They remade the original movie, and then they did Children of Dune, which is the second story. And we got the remake coming out soon, which I'm very excited for. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge.
Did anyone see Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams?
I started watching that. I saw the first episode, the one with Steve Buscemi.
Right, yes.
Yes. But I'm a huge, Philip K. Dick is great. Everything he's, if I see something that he's involved in, I'll definitely check it out. Just recently, I rewatched the miniseries of Childhood's End. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I watched Electric too.
I saw the miniseries and then I read the book for that because it was so well done. I was like, oh, I have to check this out. And the book is pretty good too, but the miniseries, who's that? Charles Dancer as Corellan, phenomenal performance.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was, in terms of episodic content, right? You can, it was kind of like the original series of Star Trek throwback, right? I mean, you could just sit down and watch 45 minutes, and that was the show, right? And then the next week, it's something completely different. And I kind of enjoy that.
How do you think they handled the Blade Runner sequel?
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you should see that too.
I quite enjoyed it.
I liked it too, yeah.
It's the kind of film that you're never going to have a sequel that's going to perfectly satisfy you, but I thought they did a pretty good job with what they had.
I have to disagree with you on that, because if you're James Cameron, for some reason your sequels are better than, in some cases, the originals.
True. But in general, when you have a really good first film like the original Blade Runner, it's really hard to nail the sequel. And I think they got they absolutely got the world correct, which is like half of the battle. Like,
Well,
it felt very much like it was the Blade Runner world.
Yeah, that was actually because Philip K. Dick died before the movie was released, but he did see the original. He saw like 10 minutes of footage that they did for the original, and he said yes. Like, one of the things that he took away from it was he felt they really brought the world that he was writing about into focus in life. Yeah, so I think they did a great job with the sequel, though. But you're right; it is hard to live up to that original. The teardrops in the rain line and everything. Maybe they went a little bit too far in that direction, but I enjoyed it.
Have you guys seen Raised by Wolves on HBO?
I'm not familiar with that.
Do you know what that just reminded me of, Z?
What's that?
Future Man. Wolf. Wolf.
Yeah.
That's a,
We can't.
we can't reference that
can't
one.
quote anything from that show.
Yeah.
Because it's PG.
Have you guys seen Future Man? Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working on season 3 lately.
Oh man, it's so funny. Some great lines.
It's really
in it.
good.
I don't know who that actor is who plays Wolf, but he came out of nowhere, and the performance he gives is so like jaw-droppingly awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, who is this guy? What else has
Yeah.
he been in? I kind of IMDb him. He really hasn't been in anything, and I'm surprised because he's so good.
He is good. He's really good. Oh man. What do you think? Should we announce the winner of our last giveaway and then wrap it up?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, been on the air for about 2 hours. Okay, let's announce the winner of our third and final giveaway for tonight. This was for a Lorca and Landry Bridge Officer Code Pack. And the winner is Twitch viewer GXV3.
Awesome. Congrats, Garrett.
Congrats. Well done.
Nice.
That is our... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Our,
You know who it is?
Admiral of Fleet Resources, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow. If you can
So
please...
we know where that's going.
Yeah. If you can please contact us and send a whisper to the Priority 1 Twitch channel and give us your email address, we will get that prize sent off to you at the end of the show. Congrats again. Well done.
Congratulations, Fleet. What was his title? Fleet of Provision Holding.
Chief of Fleet Resources.
Ah.
Okay. All right.
So
Why
he
don't I have a
manages...
cool Winters? How come I don't have a cool title like that?
Chief Poop Deck Officer.
Chief.
Bilge Pump Officer.
Well, you asked for it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up episode 155 of the Priority 1 Armada live stream. But before we go, here's a glimpse at next week's show. Kat will be in the captain's chair hosting next week's show with Zianto and Selleck once again. As with every show, we will be talking about the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Priority 1 Armada. Plus, we'll be teaming up with you in another adventure zone to earn more marks and dilithium.
If you're not a member of the Priority 1 Armada and want to chat with us in-game, then come join us at Priority 1 Chat Channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority 1, all one word, and then hit the enter key.
And if anybody does want to become a member of the Priority 1 Armada community, simply head over to PriorityOneArmada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets for you to start your career as part of the Priority 1 Armada.
This episode of Priority 1 Armada Live is brought to you by our community patrons through patreon.com. Find out about the thank you packages we offer for each tier and add your support at patreon.com/Priority 1 Armada. It's your support that keeps us going.
And speaking of Patreon, a special thanks to our Patreon supporters like Wiley Coyote, Teacher Guy, Amergen, Demorg, Tazan, Asar, Nick W, Four, Seal, Claudia, and Riker Carlson. Steve.
Don't miss a thing from the world of Star Trek. Catch all the latest news regarding the Star Trek multiverse on the Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Get new episodes every Friday by pointing your favorite podcast app to feeds.priorityonepodcast.com. I nailed it that time. I didn't screw it up. I am the champion.
Well done.
If you want to be notified of our next live stream, then follow our various channels on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You never know when we'll have another giveaway. Before we go, I would like to say special thanks to our artist, Jason Smith. Thanks to our social media manager, Anthony Cox, with assistance from Sean Babbitt. I would also like to say a very special thank you to my co-hosts tonight, Selleck and Zianto, for joining me this week. I really want to say a very special thanks to our two guests for joining us this week, Nick and Dave from the Stonewall community. Thank you so much, guys. It has been absolutely great having you on, and would love to have you on again at some point in the future.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun.
No problem at all. And finally, of course, a big thanks to you guys, the viewers, because without you, none of this will be possible. So until next week, take care, live long and prosper. Say goodbye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
See ya.